My head is cut off. My head is still cut off. Good evening, Quilt BOM'ers. I'll try to get up in here. I don't know what happened to my monitor as to why it's so tilted. I have it propped up just a little bit, but I haven't moved it since Friday. Anyway, welcome to our first episode. Well, it's actually 1:45, I believe, but at 7 p.m. and it'll be this way weekly. Hello, Cheryl. So we'll be here every day this week at this time. I wanted to be able to show some things because I had a viewer question. So I thought maybe we should take a look at it together. Maybe other people had the same question. So, but the first thing, hi, Misty. So I have a couple of things I wanted to share with you, and I'm going to share my screen. During our sewing session on Friday evening, we were working on London Town, and it was brought up about another designer who was doing another London themed quilt block of the month. It's nearly over, but you can still purchase kits and patterns and things like that. So let me share. This is with Gudrun Erla. Let me share this. So, and it's using her fabric line called London Calling. And it is a 14-month program. And they're, believe, in 13 right now, this block right here. And this is called London Courtyards. Now, all of these that I will go over don't say, what the name of the block is, but you can get a good idea what the blocks look like. This is called King's Guard. This is Parks and Gardens. And then there is the Liberty Flowers. This is part 9. I don't know what the name of this one is. Part 8 for that one as well. And then here is like, if you hover over it, you can start seeing what the quilt kind of looks like. And I think it's rather interesting. Part 6. This is part 5. And part 4. And here's part 3. Part 2. I like this one. And then this one here's my favorite. The telephone booth. And then this is what her fabric line looks like in different cuts. I don't think that this is all that's in the line. I don't know for certain, but this is what's available. You can purchase kit, which is listing here. You can get the fabric kit. Here's the quilt. And then this one here, 14 months pattern with videos and a thread pack if you're interested. So I thought I'd at least show that. I remember you saying that in the video on Friday. So I had to go look. I went and checked it out. It's a nice quilt. I really like it. So you can sign up for it at the location. I have all the links below if you're interested in doing that. Oh, I already showed you this, but you can sign up for it, or you cannot sign up for it, but at least purchase the kit if you're interested. There's more information here at the top about the kit and stuff itself. So if you're interested, I thought I'd at least share some more information about a block of the month that was mentioned in a video that we had not previously shared. Of course, it started long before I started doing these things. And then there is another one. I found a young lady on Instagram, and I will show her Instagram page, and a link for this is below. Her name is Kate Colleran, and she is Kate Designs. I was interested, she mentions about a block of the month in this photo here. It is all applique and kind of collage. Are you seeing that? Yeah. So, and it's a new block of the month called Desert Spring that will be coming out. So if you're interested in this, please pay attention to her Instagram page or go to her website, and I'll have a link to sign up for newsletters here in just a second that I'll show you. But this caught my eye, and I thought, oh, what else has she got going on? So I checked out her page, and she's got some really cute blocks here. And it looks like she does them by the month. And it looks like she also uses a lot of batiks. I know a lot of people are very interested in batiks. I'm not a big fan of batiks, but I have made a batik quilt before. So I thought I'd check into it, and I went to her little quick links thing over here, and that's up this page. And so I signed up for her newsletter, and I clicked on the newsletter. And so I signed up for it because I thought I'd be really interested in hearing more about some of the things that she does, blocks in the month and things like that. So I wanted to be kept apprised of those things. And the link to her newsletter is where is it? You just click on that link, and I have a link below also that will take you to her newsletter. So now let me share with you the newsletter. Okay, that I got. Now this newsletter talks about a mystery quilt along that is starting November 8th. And there is a link in here to fabric requirements and things like that. So when you sign up for her newsletter, I think you'll get this information. And according to this, you can also opt out of getting information to this if you just want to get newsletters and not information about the quilt along that is going to be happening starting next week. But I thought this was interesting, and somebody might be interested in another mystery quilt along. Those were the colors that she had chosen for that. So let me get back to that. These are the colors. So if you're interested in something like that, the link to sign up for her newsletters is down below. And you could take a look and follow along with that mystery quilt along. I like to follow them because, you know, you might get a block that is just something you just have to have in your stash and put it in your binder and off you go. So I'm interested in seeing what the first block is going to look like next week. So there's another one I thought I'd share with you. So tomorrow is Tuesday, and we are going to be getting another block of the week from Laundry Basket Quilts. And so I wanted to make sure I got my block 44 finished so that when the new one comes out, I'm all ready to go. So I printed off the instructions for it. And there is a section down here where you have to print off some templates to make these pieces. And I thought, well, hi, Alicia. Let me take a look at that and see if I can provide some tips or some tricks. So I am nearly done with my block. I just have one more start point to complete. So I thought before I finish this, let's kind of walk through how I did this. So I printed off the templates and I cut out just one of the pieces, because if you put two fabrics together face to face, you can use one and it'll cut out both mirror images. So I've got two pieces of fabric here, and I measured this to see how tall and how wide it was and added a couple of eighths of an inch to it and cut fabric so that I could get all of the points that I needed. And so I've got them facing each other, right sides together. And I just I put a little dab of glue on one side and I laid it on my fabric here like so. And then I made sure that my mat, I could turn it so that I didn't move the fabrics around because I'm not keeping the fabrics together. I'm just cutting out the template. So I line up my 1/4 inch line on the line. So there's a line in the middle of it, and then there's the 1/4 inch. So that way I'm cutting it quite precisely. My glue dried. So I take a little dab of glue just so it kind of stays in place. It sometimes doesn't, but you know, whatever you can do that is helpful. So now that I don't want to move it, I'm just going to lay my 1/4 inch on the line and trim all the way around it. And this template has beautiful little points that you cut off on the very ends so that all the pieces match up together so beautifully. And so I'll cut that off. And I'll move my mat again. Move this out of the way. And then I'll cut this piece. Actually, let me cut this one. Since I have a long piece of fabric, I'm going to save as much of it as I can. Cut on that side. Now I pull that away. Move my ruler very carefully so that I don't move my fabric or my piece. And you know, you could do this with, you know, 4 fabrics together. So you can cut, only have to make like 1 cut and you got 4 of them done. And then at the top, I'll just lay my ruler on it to hold it and then just use my rotary cutter to pull that aside. So there, I now have cut 2 pieces for my triangle. And I did the same thing with the triangle. However, since you only have to cut 4 of those, and I used that glue and it didn't stick to the back of the fabric or anything. So I cut my triangles the same. I cut a piece of fabric. I measured my template to see how tall and wide it was, multiplied that by 4, and then cut I think it was like 12.5 by 3.5 sheet strip of fabric in this colorway. And then I folded it over 4 times, pressed it, and then I glued my template to the top of it and cut all the way around that. And I cut all 4 of them on at one time. So now I have to be careful when I sew this together because I already sewed them on upside down before. So make sure you place these in just the right order so that the flat, the full flat is at the very top. I had done it the other way around and everything was kind of curved. So I had to take all my stitches out, but it worked out wonderfully. Oh, this is supposed to go upside down. So now this piece goes on this side and this piece goes on this side. So I have my 2 sides. And then the nice little tips on the ends, they just meet up so beautifully on the end so that you can easily sew this. And so I also like to trim everything down when I make individual units. And so just as she suggests, she gives the sizes. So, and I like to have something to actually cut off. So I'm using a scaped 1/4 inch, giving myself a little extra room to be able to cut some things off. Make sure that everything is the right size when it's done. It's kind of, I find it more imperative to do it with Laundry Basket Quilts patterns than with any other, to be honest. I'm finding a couple other designers who are kind of the same way, but and so then I will press that open. I'm not pressing open my seams, I'm just pressing open this. So then I'm going to lay it back down so I can make sure that I'm putting my piece in the right way. And the same thing, I'll line up the cut tip there on here, scale 1/4 inch. Little different method than what we have done in the past, so I am very pleased with how this all turned out. All right. And then I will go, and it says it needs to be 2.5 inches, so I'll do the trimming to make sure everything is square. And I have some to cut. Flip it over, do it again. Okay, clean up my shreds. And then I have my little triangle block. And I can put it in here. And sew my block, finish sewing my block together. So I hope you guys had a great weekend while I finish sewing my block together. And then we're going to go revisit block 36. That's the viewer question. So it's a very valid question. So I figured if one person was having some problems or some questions or some struggling with the block, others might have been too. So it's one you need to go back and take a look at and find out. Because I had to go remind myself what block this was. Let's see. I just need to get it pressed out. And this one, and then we'll put the whole block together, and I can call this one done. I still need to make my matching heart block, though. So it's a mini sew along today. You got your first month of the flyaway flow from the Quilt Spot. You're in love? Oh, I just love it. I just looked up that flyaway flow block. It's a gorgeous quilt. I think I've looked that one up already. Flyaway flow. Yeah, I checked out the Quilt Spot again a little while ago to see if there was something new that I hadn't seen yet. Wasn't anything new there that was other than there's a what do you call it? French General one that just came out too, or that she posted about. I was supposed to follow up on another one. Can't remember what it was now. I have to go check my other notebook. I have way too many notebooks. So next week, I think I should have my new rug for my sewing room. I hit the button on the Temu order. And so maybe I can get myself back up in my room sooner rather than later. I'll have my son help me. Richard's got several appointments this week. And he moved his mom this past weekend, so he's kind of pooped. She's in the hospital and has to go to, what do you call it? Rehabilitation. And so while she's been in the hospital, Richard and his sister have been moving his mom into a new place. one level. It's not a apartment building. And so they're cleaning up and unpacking and things too this week. Since she's in the hospital, they don't have to like rush or anything, but they did have to rush to get her out of the building. So that happened over the weekend. So he won't be coming home this week. He's got 2 appointments on Wednesday and 1 on Thursday. So I don't know. We'll see. All right. I finished my block. Another block done and dusted. Do you like it how I fussy cut my little bird in the middle? I love it. All right. So that can go in scrap. So I don't know if that was helpful to anybody working on this, but hopefully somebody will watch it. That needed a little extra boost of encouragement. Okay, so this here is block 36. And the viewer said that it wasn't coming out the right size. So I needed to refresh my memory as to how Adita said to sew this together. So you cut 2 and 3.5 inch rectangles, and so I use the same fabric. And then these are 2-inch squares. So basically they're sew and flips. And after you finish sewing on one of the sew and flips, turn it over and re-measure it to make sure that the rectangle is still 2 by 3.5 inches. And then put the other sew and flip on and do it again. And then trim off the excess on both of them because neither one of those seems touched. So you can do one and then the other. And then when you put the two together, that corner, it automatically matches up if this is 3.5 inches long. And so I opened up the seam on the back just to help it lay a little flatter. So it met very nicely in the middle. And then when it was done, I measured it and it should have measured, was it 3.5? Yeah, 3.5 inches. And you just have to make 4 of these. And then they all meet in the middle. Each one of the corners has like a different fabric, but so for instance, this one here has the light blue and this stripy polka dot, and there's this polka dot, and then this same stripy polka dot, because all the outside edges had the same fabric. So it turned out okay. So if you're still struggling with that block, please reach out to me and let me know if any of this is not helpful. But Adita is very severely serious about making sure that after you finish a unit that you keep measuring it to make sure it's the right size. So she will always give you the final size of her block. Hello, Jess. So if you're struggling with block 36 too, let me know. We could probably work something out. Oh, the other thing I thought was really cool about this block, when trimming it to the 3.5 by 3.5, you'll notice that the 45-degree line on your ruler goes straight through the block. And that should help you too with making sure that this is squared up. And then when you flip it over the other way, it does the same thing on the other side. So I hope that was helpful. If not, I'm sorry. I can try something else. So if that wasn't the problem, please reach out and let me know. We could probably discuss another method. But I wanted to try to help as best I could. And if somebody else had the question, I thought maybe other people might be struggling with the same thing. So I finished block 44. I'm going to make my heart block before I go to bed tonight too, to make sure that that is complete. And then I'm going to put all 44 blocks on the wall and take a picture of them tomorrow during daylight so that I can show you when we go through block 45 color fabric selection that I've got a picture of all the blocks. I can make sure that there's not a fabric that I need to be pulling out or using again or that kind of thing. So since we're getting kind of close to the end, we only have like 10 blocks left. There are going to be 55. It's 55 birthday blocks is what the hashtag is. And so if you want to go search out on either Facebook or Instagram for the hashtag 55 birthday blocks, you might see a whole bunch of different kind of blocks out there that are, because there's a lot of people sewing along with this one. So not necessarily in my group. I know a couple are, but I don't know how many exactly. So, and I'll take a look at that pattern too, because I'll see that long before the video starts, and I could see if there's anything that might need a little tip or trick there too. I know I can't wait to see it either. I can't wait to see the whole quilt. I can't wait to get layouts and everything. We should be getting something pretty soon. There's only 10 blocks left. All right, and we've had 2 bonus blocks. So we really have 57 already. No, we have 47. So maybe we have less than that. I don't know. If they were just called bonus 1 and bonus 2, they weren't like added into the number scheme. So we should have 47 blocks. I didn't do an EPP one. And that's because the template that she provided for the EPP papers was not the right size initially. And that's the one that I printed off. And I didn't catch it until long after it. So it was too late. I didn't feel like going back and redoing. So I was almost done with the whole block. What kind of sewing machine is this? I have a Baby Lock Jazz 2. It's got a deep throat on it, and it only has a few stitches. It does a zigzag. It does a straight stitch. It's fast. It doesn't have a whole lot of features on it, but I like it. I have heard a lot of mixed feelings about this. A lot of people are not real happy with their Jazz 2, but I haven't had any trouble, and I have had it for 3 years now, I think. So yeah, I really like her. I like the deep throat. She's very heavy. So okay, so the other thing that I may be working on tomorrow, if I don't get to it prior to that, is putting together block 8 of 9 of the our National Park Sew Along with Pat Sloan, because that's due Wednesday comes block 9, the last block. So kind of want to get this block done, and I haven't even taken another look at the fabrics. I've gotten green and brown votes, so I don't know yet. I haven't even taken another look at it. So tomorrow after I wake up, I'll take another little fresh look at it, pull out fabrics that I think I'm going to cut, and then maybe I'll sew it together during our video tomorrow. I think that's kind of like the good thing about doing this in the evenings, is that I will have time to just sit and sew, and the videos can go a little bit longer than 10 or 15 minutes. And we don't have to just sew on Thursdays. So that's where we're at. I haven't done a whole lot of sewing this weekend. I mean, we've been back at this table since. So I'm working out my new work schedule. Tomorrow I have to go vote. Make sure everybody goes and votes tomorrow. Got to go do my civic duty and go vote tomorrow. And then I'm going to go to work, and then I'll be back. So it gets dark here now about 4:30, so 5 o'clock. So I will be home and have a couple of hours before the video starts tomorrow evening to do something besides eating. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and we'll go through fabric selection for block 45 of the Laundry Basket Quilts Birthday Mystery Quilt. All right, you guys have a good night. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Oh, Cheryl's got a baby lock she has too. Yep. I have yet to figure out the free motion quilting on mine, Cheryl. I can't get the bobbin tension to work out right. Dinner is calling, Misty. Go. Thank you. You're welcome. Marie France Pierre. Oh, I just love it. I love your name. You worn it out. You guys have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow night, okay? Bye.